right, fool? Shit. Let it be known then. Circle tight.
Have you ever done DMT?
Funny story about DMT. No,
Yes.
I haven't done it. But I shouldn't. I don't know if I should publicly say what I was about to say. I just checked myself.
Hey, you know what, man?
I'll just say this. We used to help. We used to guide people. Me and my
shaman.
Yeah, me and my older brother used to sit with people, and we understood the process of what it took to get the stuff. So we wouldn't sell it or anything like that. But at the time, there was some people that if they came to us with they needed an answer, we sort of administer whether or not they would abuse it, or if you would have, if you have a guide or someone there, odds are you're going to derive something from what you experience, as opposed to if you do it as a party thing. If you do a party thing, you're probably not going to take anything from it. But we would always sort of, all right, if you really are in trouble and you really have come to a dead end in your life and you really need an answer, that's an answer for fucking sure. But the best way you can really come back here with that answer is if someone's there to help you come back here and remember what you saw.
Hey, focus. Hey.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
right.
So
the guest is Black 57.
Quite a few times, quite a few experiences that's happened. Quite a few times. So I'm more versed in a lot of that.
So how many times have you done it? Not how many. Who cares how many times you've done it? Have you done it?
So there was a conversation I had with my brother, which was exactly that, because it was so available. We you know what I mean? It was just so available. But he's like, don't ever feel pressure to do that shit unless you need that answer. You know what I mean? So
I think we're
took
pretty.
that
I think me
person.
and this fucker over here are pretty close to doing it.
No, I want to. Nowadays, I want to just so I can pass that threshold in my life. But at the time when it was so available right in front of me, I didn't feel like I needed it. So I was like, no, I'll be good. I can say no to that. I'm good.
Right. I don't feel like setting an appointment up and be like, hey, this day we're gonna do it. It don't work for me that way because I don't know how I'm gonna feel that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The best way I think is to have it.
It's a more right, exactly.
And then just like when you get that, like, today's the day. Just,
exactly. Exactly.
Just jump in the ocean. Just jump in the ice bath.
I mean, I'm not afraid of taking it, but it's just that's what it boils down to. I gotta just it's gotta be that day. That's not more than several times. Yeah. And it's just like what day it is. I'm like, today's a good day to take a little bit, and I do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that it's not. We're talking about apples and oranges. However, it's still in the same field.
Similar, same but different.
Right. It's got the same difference, huh?
Yeah, it's got the same difference.
Have you heard about the Imperial College studies?
No, Imperial College studies. No,
Imperial College has been doing this recent study where they've been giving blood drip testing, the blood drip DMT into people. They're able to be into a trip for like an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. I heard, yes, that I heard. That headline, I heard, I seen that. I didn't see it, but I heard about that.
Well, because like a lot of people in the study were seeing the same entities, but not sharing their vision,
with each other.
And so, and like how the homie said, they made it a blood drip. So you're in the hole for an hour versus this 8 to 15 minute little.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes usually for us, 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so
the people that we guided,
which could seem like an eternity.
It was always an eternity to them.
I'm gonna get out of
They'd come out and be like, it was only 5 minutes. Like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like,
that sounds the equivalent of being knocked out or something.
It really
you know
is.
what I mean? I got knocked out before, man. Somebody got my ass, homie. I was out. I was like, I was out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You just come to.
Is that the same as DMT?
No, I mean, the thing is, though, with that stuff, is that's a whole realm that exists. It's been mapped out. It's been mapped out, but to find the documentation of that stuff, you actually have to dig a bit, and most people don't usually dig that deep to find those studies and find that information. But the thing is, the truth of the matter is, it has been mapped out, and there are entities that have been identified and stuff like that, and gateways and areas that you can go into. But it is tailored to the person's perspective when they enter it. Essentially, you'll get out of it what you put in when you're there. You know what I mean? So If those students and those people who were doing those research were all in the same headspace, which I'm sure they were, odds are they were going to the same place. It is a real place.
And like, it's kind of one of those things where like, I kind of tell you about that. You know, I lay this whole foreground out for you, you know what I mean? And not just like a direct conversation for fucking the back and forth dialogue before you come and join the study. I'm already implanting stuff in some sort of way. So you're already looking for like, and now I'm asking the question like, now are you just, when you go into that hole or whatever, are you already kind of looking for that because it was suggested to you? So you're like, oh, you know.
I don't think you could be ready for that. I don't think you can be. I think when you enter it, it's something you can't necessarily expect to be confronted with. Terrence McKenna talks about it in like his lectures all the time. Like I listen to so much of his. I listened to probably like fucking over 50 hours of his shit before. You know what I mean? Just like him talking about his psychedelic experiences and him meeting with the same beings and entities.
The little elf machines and stuff like that.
Yeah. He said he had a girlfriend there that he would come to him almost every time.
But wasn't there? Is that the same guy who was like almost on, like felt like 3 months or like 3 years or something? He was doing it for 3 months.
Oh yeah.
He ended up like having a whole like DMT wife, family, this, that, everything.
Yeah. He's got this. His voice is so recognizable. His voice is just like, well, the cosmological implications of this psychedelic trip is past any kind of human comprehension. The internal world that we map out for. It's like his very, very specific voice. He uses very lofty words and language, but he was so pro-psychedelic and so intelligent at the same time that he talks all about, you know, these places in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And like just now they're sort of taking those studies a little more serious and doing it. And,
I believe so.
You know what I mean?
I think it's becoming more so. I mean, because in actuality, these old tribes, these old people, ancient people, like, you know, from all around the world have been having some type of hallucinogenic drink, this, that, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at something today where they were saying like, you know, the DNA in our blood, there's like 8 or 13 point something billion different variations or whatever something that actually goes dating back to the beginning of time when they say time started, and that like, you know, they ended up taking the DNA and putting some caps on certain parts to where our spiritual side wasn't there like how it used to be, and like having this third eye basically, you know, that other type of
100%.
you know, what are they, the 5 senses or 6 senses, right? Like feel, touch, see, hear, or whatever, so, like that. So like, and that was like the next one, right?
So
like,
there's in the occult they talk a lot about crafting or exercising organs that aren't physical organs, that are astral organs, and that your physical body also has an astral body to it. It's like the driving body, rather behind the soul, the physical. Yeah, essentially the spirit, the soul. And so they talk about practices that you can sit down and meditate on. It's all mental, but essentially it's to help you craft astral organs and help you exercise those astral organs, those spiritual organs in your spiritual body, not your physical body itself. Your physical body has its own limitations to it, but there's senses, there's things you can't sense, and you only have so many senses, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if
do you think, because like I be feeling like society puts this stronghold on you, and you create those blockers. You do. You know, like they say it's this way, and you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Then I can't use that, or I can't do that.
And then it becomes your own block because you enforce it yourself. So
absolutely.
Like, but someone gives you a suggestion, and then you follow it until the fact that you're the one now putting the handcuffs on yourself. And once it gets there, it's kind of hard to break it off. But you still can. It's just harder to. That's all.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, no, 100%, because like. People only. I was just in when I was in the hospital getting these stitches off. Bro, I was sitting down in the ER room, and there was just like a mother and her daughter or something like that, like next to me, and just the way that they were talking to each other, the way the mother was talking to her was just so like negative and downput. And I was thinking to myself as she was saying this, I was like, "Damn, you're just implanting your daughter with all of these negative." You know, influences right now. Like you're not
going to amount to shit. You're going to be a bum, or you're going to be a whore or something. You know what I mean, to that aspect, right?
Yeah, indirectly though, not to her, but saying like some people are just pieces of shit. Some people are just like this, and then this happens to them, and then this happens, and then they're fucked. And just by saying that, you're implanting those things into her, rather than teaching her just to focus and exercise being more forward thinking. You know what I mean? You're telling her what other people do to be negative, and by doing that, you're enforcing her to think negatively.
Yeah, no,
and it's
absolutely.
Like, so it's like a subconscious thing, but I 100% think that people do that to each other all the time, every day. But it's about catching it and just being like, you have a choice to think of it as your loss or your lack of something, or think of the thing that you would rather happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rather than not having that thing. You know.
I mean, I'm always like hope for the best, expect the worst. I'm like glasses half full versus half empty.
Yeah.
Even though it could be a shitty time, you know what I mean, or this and that. I'm still like, nah, man, I gotta.
Totally.
I'm gonna at least keep my spirit about me. You can't take that from me. You can't. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah.
When you don't have nothing, and they say, oh, my balls in my word or whatever. But I mean, literally, like having nothing and being stripped down to like. You can't even, you don't even have the option to move around and make moves or pick up the phone when you want and this and that. And it breaks you down. So we're like, you know what? You can't break me all the way down.
Yeah. You still got to laugh about it.
Right.
You got to joke about it.
And I'm going to just keep moving forward. This is going to pass.
Yeah.
And when it passes, you know what I mean? I'm going to be back over here, you know?
I learned that lesson from my nana. You know, the woman who I consider my grandmother, she wasn't my biological grandmother, but she was like my grandmother.
Okay.
And she raised me like that. And I remember the last time I saw her, I will never forget because I learned that lesson from her the last time I saw her. She, her father had died from a blood infection. And she passed away, I think, when she was 86 in like 2016 or something like that, 2015.
That's good term. Good life term right there.
Long life. And so she was kind of worried that would happen to her in some way, shape, or form, but it ended up happening. But they took her toe off because they had to amputate. And then they had to take her foot off because it didn't heal, and then they had to go from the foot all the way up to the knee.
Oh my god!
And that's when it happened. But she was there, and that was the last time I saw her was in hospice, and she's sitting there up to her kneecap, in her bed, and she goes, these fucking nurses here, they won't listen to me. I was like, what are you talking about now? What's going on? She goes, I told them put me in a wheelchair. Okay, put me in a wheelchair. Put me on the street corner, and I'm gonna put a sign around my leg, my stump, and I'm gonna say, "We'll work for a leg." It's like. That's silly shit. And if she can laugh about herself like that, then I ain't got no reason the rest of my life to bitch about any one fucking thing that happens to me. You know what I mean? Like
I shouldn't say that as like old people, but people that are
they have a different mentality,
well seasoned or live their life.
Yes.
Yeah. They're the ones that talk the most shit.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are the most forward ones, they're the most blunt. You be bringing your girl home, and your grandma catches you. What are you doing here? Who are you? You know what I mean? It's like different shit like that. Or grandma get all drunk and she's talking shit. All you guys do is do this and that or whatever. You know what I mean?
Love it though, man.
Yeah.
To find levity in situations like that, it takes someone like that to teach you. You know what I mean? As an example, like, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you do it gracefully. You know what I mean? This is not how you bitch and whine and moan and lick your wounds like this. You know what I mean? You should stand up and laugh about it.
And their generations, though, were more hard asses, man. Today's generation, they
don't do that. Yeah.
I think they're.
But I think that requires us to be that way now.
What?
I'm trying to be.
I mean, to not be like a pussy or not a pussy, but like,
No, but yeah.
Stop being like.
Don't let it hold you down.
Yeah,
keep it moving. Like,
oh man, poor me. Like, shut that shit up.
Yeah, to put it back, tape an asprin.
Yeah,
tape an asprin to it. And
hey, the homie's just talking about he had his nana give him a bunch of aspirin.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he said. My bad. You can scroll back through if you like.
Yeah, let me see this.
You can get in on some of those comments. No, you know what? I asked my grandma when it was coming to that time. You know what I mean? I like to get a bunch of information out of her ass.
Yeah.
And she would, and they would always say that a lot of old people too have regrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Some do, and you can read it on their face, man. You can. I like gaining wisdom though, because even those people have a wealth of wisdom you can learn from. In talking to them, they go, I wish I would have done this, and then that applies directly to you in your present situation, whatever it is. Like, you know what? When this happens to me now, I'm gonna look at it like as if I had power over it.
Hey, hey, they be acting like they were good in their time. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can only imagine what the hell your ass was doing, grandma. You know what I mean? Like,
way worse.
Yeah, doing a bunch of crazy stuff, huh?
Way
like
worse.
Grandma was out there, really. You know what I mean?
They can get away with more.
Doing the oogie boogie boogie. Nah, I'm just clowning. All right. DMT, bro.
Yeah, man.
Freaking DMT.
Yeah, I remember.
We keep talking about that.
I had a few homies come over to the house on their birthday to do it. They're like, because they didn't want to do it alone. They were like, you guys know what you're doing, so we're going to, be in a safe place. I remember we...
you ever done DMT on weed?
My homie did, and he told me he saw a being that was very wrathful at him for doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was fucking pissed. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, he was super pissed because he could, like, feel what was in his system. He's like, nah, what the fuck is this and this? You don't do this. You don't do that. And, like, he, like, shot him back into his body and shit. He came back just in sweat, just sweating his ass off, like, I need a cigarette. Just, like, like, getting yelled at. Going there, then getting yelled at and sent back, essentially.
Wow. I mean, so there's like a higher purpose behind doing DMT, huh?
Well, there should be, at least when you go into it. Because if you do it as just a party thing, then that's all it will be. But if you go into it with an opportunity to see a side of the reality you exist in, past the veil, you're peeling the veil back.
Yeah.
Then you should be in the right mind state. You should be, at least in my opinion.
Isn't there like some rock or something? Like it's some like a rock glass or something, and you put two of them together, like some spiritual stuff, and you're able to see the realm that's around us.
No, I don't.
The energy that's around us.
Something in this physical plane is only existing within the physical plane, so that can't happen. To access it, you have to access it through the only medium you can, which is through mental, but your mental is clouded with imagination. So there's a way you can get sort of calm your waters essentially when you go into your imagination, so that you can see clearer through it. And you can see these places or these realms. You can be high as shit, just like DMT. I've had psychedelic experiences with zero psychedelics needed. I've woke up from dreams.
Hey, the homie hasn't drank water in like a week. He was walking across the Sahara Desert, and he's like, I'm on DMT.
There you go. Yeah. Essentially,
with a backpack full of cans and shit,
hallucinating out there in the desert,
in the mirage,
out here in the Vegas desert, the Vegas heat.
I think there's it was an old UFC dude. This happened some years back. Homie used to have braids, and he went on a walk out in the desert, and he would do it like kind of all the time. But he just ended up going out and got lost, and he ended up dying out there, and they found him like later on. Yeah, some
dehydrated.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know exactly what happened, but he was probably doing some trip, bro. You know what I mean? He was like one of those type of spiritual type people, as far as trying to see the inner side and third eye and all that stuff.
Probably got led just fucking on that trip. Just kept going.
Okay, so if you do DMT right now and you were like looking for some type of answer, like what would that question be, or what would you want the answer for?
My question would be: am I doing okay, and am I making a difference, and along the lines of how can I be better? You know what I mean?
I see those as being something that you have the capability of.
That's why I haven't done it.
Of doing on your own.
That's why I haven't done it, because I've been like always trying to answer those questions. You know what I mean? Every year, like let's say like New Year, New Me type of shit.
Yeah.
Those are always like, I want to be a better version of me that is going to love more people in a more efficient way. You know what I mean? And help more people in an efficient way for them.
Right.
Every year. And so like, if I can keep doing that, I'll be okay. But that's why I haven't felt the need to really get out there and get it. I've had my low moments where I feel like really low, like fuck man, I really could just like, let me just fucking peel this veil back real quick and really see what's going on behind the scenes, so I know when I'm fucking up or not, and then put it back and I come back and fix it. But like they're brief moments of despair, so that I get through them. Also too, I feel like nowadays there's a metaphysic philosophy that my brother and I sort of study, and it's sort of,
what would you do?
It's sort of based along the lines of a catalyst, of every moment being catalyst for your life. So if you're there, if you're present, living your life here, you know what I mean? If you're in that mind state, if you're there, you can use every moment that's happening to you as a changing experience for you. So no moment will go unused. You know what I mean? Not just like if you got into a fender bender and you're like, oh fuck, it's just a bad day today. You could have said, what was I thinking about when that happened to me? What led up to that experience of me in a car accident?
Right.
And then preceding that, how am I going to change myself to fix my mind state so that doesn't happen again? You know what I mean? Because it was never just a fucking freak accident.
Well, I feel like I analyze myself a lot in those type of aspects.
Yeah.
And not to say that all my habits are good habits, or so to speak, of this or that. But I think I have an insight to my flaws and things. And yeah, I want to change this, or I want to do better here and whatnot. And some things are like, oh, that's who I am, and I like that. So
yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah.
But and just a little microdosing times.
It's always good.
Like I can get an epiphany, or like this calling, or this answer,
Sure.
like in the sense of what you're talking about, like where I'll just be like, all right, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
And and then I'll try to learn from that. But I'm someone who's constantly learning. Like I'm constantly soaking it in. I'm constantly doing things. And to be honest with you, like I know a lot of people here, there, and whatnot. But like, not that I don't like people, but like I could be by myself more.
I feel that. Solitude is nice, man.
You know what I mean? And like I try to keep it still tight with the people that I do rub shoulders with or whatnot.
Sure.
And all right, I love to give out knowledge though too. I love to like whenever we do any of those little projects and stuff or anything, the kids or something, this or that. Like, I want to go back and redefine the piecing process.
No, that'll be dope to do another class. You should do another class. They're down for it.
Well, I want to do like that one, but I want to like make PowerPoints on my own.
That'd be dope.
On my own video and just redefine it, because I think it's a good starting point to where I can make it better and better and better and better.
I feel that.
And really capture what I want to say.
I feel that.
Because
just sort of more clarify it.
Because we're talking, I'm like, that, oh, hold on, I missed one thing, hold on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, I was in the mirror like, all right, today, kids, we're going to talk about Primus. Do you like violets? No, just
totally.
Right.
No, I feel you though. You see yourself do one thing, you go, I can do that better. I want to try it, but like a little more different angle.
I mean, I really think they were all dope, bro. I learned something. Really for cool. Sure.
I missed the last one that they did.
They just did?
Yeah, the graffiti, the mural.
Right. Tips, commissions, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was dope. I was like, fuck it, but we were across town.
Yeah, I wish I could go to more, man.
Me too.
And it's not always fortunate to be able to do it or
it's all good. They record it, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's what's tight. I wanna do like a little panel, like a graffiti panel, graph heads, and really like on different perspectives. You know what I mean? So it's, we always 2 cents right here. We're talking about the 2 cents. We're talking about the art, the graffiti art. We're trying to give exposure to a lot of artists in the art scene. A lot of times these other podcasts, when they talk about artists, they're talking about a musician or a rapper, so to speak. And one time I was like, no, when I'm talking about artists, I'm talking about like somebody who paints and
visual
does
art.
Graph and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the other elements of the hip hop.
Totally, man. Totally. I feel like when people say artist nowadays, it's usually pertain to like music. And
right,
like,
absolutely.
For me, I'm like, I'm an artist. Yeah, I am a musician, but I'm a visual artist primarily. You know what I mean? Like, the word artist for me in my mind, I think of Picasso, I think of Dali, I think of Vincent, you know what I mean? I think of fucking Michelangelo,
And those dudes are crazy.
I don't think about Prince or something. I think a musician, you know what I mean? I think musician.
The artist formerly known as Prince. I actually like a couple of his songs.
Prince is dope. Prince is dope. But he's a badass musician and a performer.
He's all his own, What's up, homie?
Do you have a old name? What was your first rap name? Do you remember that when you were young before you started, or did you start straight from Black?
It's always been Black Sheep.
It's always been Black Sheep.
From day one. From day one, it was always Black Sheep.
Okay, so you have Black 57, Black Sheep 57, and I think I asked you that question.
Yeah, the 57. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Black Sheep is what? It's 1, 2, 3,
Man,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9. It's 10 letters. Black Sheep is 10 letters, and anyone who writes knows that that's fucking out of the question. Right. 10 letters is out of the question. So I was abbreviating it for a little while. I was writing the first letter of both, the B, then the S. But then someone's like, "Oh, it's Bomb Squad." Oh, you bullshit.
Bullshit.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I stopped doing the abbreviation that way. I started doing BLK, short for black, and then SHP for sheep, sheep, but it's still 6 letters. I'm like, and I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the way it looks. So
it didn't quite say Black Sheep.
No, I didn't say that. So I was like, you know what? Let me just keep the first half. I'll just keep black. I like that. I like the letters. I didn't like the letters.
Share the video, man.
Actually.
Share the video.
Because the letters are kind of hard. They're kind of hard next to each other to really do in creative different ways every time. But the 57 came because I liked Tracy 168. I liked Talkie 183. I liked Smash 137. I thought those names were really fucking cool.
Blink 182?
Blink 182. No. But I thought those names with the numbers were dope. And I was like, I really kind of want to have that same persona. So when I shortened it to Black, I was like, it'd be dope at this point to add a number to it. And the 5 came from Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I was born. It's 505 area code there. Here's 702. So I just took the 5 and 7 from 505 and 702. So it's 5 for Albuquerque and 7 for Vegas, the two places I consider like my home.
Mm-hmm.
So Black 57, I'm trying to carry both of my places of home.
No,
with
that's
me,
tight.
You know, so.
You are